Hi again, everybody, and greetings from Sacramento, California. I'm Dan Hoard alongside former Bearcat Terry Nelson. We now know that Cincinnati will take on Kansas State on Friday night in the NCAA Tournament, about 7:30 Cincinnati time. Let's start with where we are standing right now. We are outside of Capital Christian High School here in Sacramento. This is where the Bearcats are practicing for a couple of days, hopefully more than that if they advance on Friday into a game on Sunday. But it's always kind of interesting to me, Terry, where they find places to practice during the NCAA tournament. It's kind of a free-for-all. The schools have to scramble and find a local gym. Bearcats found a very good one here in Sacramento.
It's very nice. A lot of tradition here. You look up at the banners on the wall, and there's championships from girls basketball, men's, boys basketball, tennis. I mean, you name it. This is a home of scholars and champions.
All right, you're a California guy. Cincinnati traveled here on Tuesday, arrived at about 1 in the morning, Cincinnati time, so they'll have 3 nights to sleep in California, a couple of days to practice before they play their first game. You're a high-level athlete. How long does it take for the body to acclimate to a 3-hour time change?
Well, you have to play a little mind games. You have to play some tricks with your mind. Get out of the bed early, stick to your routine, come to the gym, sweat a little bit. Athletes would love to just do nothing more than stay in the bed all day, play PlayStation, maybe walk to the mall, grab some Jamba Juice or whatever they have, come back. So you got to stick to your routines. They're going to go out and have some fun tonight. And so what you want to do is you want to make sure that you can get your mind off the fact that you had a 5-hour flight and you're no longer in your own confines of your own home, but you're actually doing some fun stuff.
And speaking of that, the Bearcats left it up to captains Troy Copain and Kevin Johnson to pick out that fun activity tonight. They will go to a local Top Golf, so hopefully nobody gets whacked with a golf club on a bad shot or anything like that. But I've heard you talk about the run to the Final Four 25 years ago before, and naturally you remember the big wins, but the players also remember all the stuff that happened behind the scenes, and that's a big part of taking part in the NCAA tournament.
The best part was walking around with camcorders back in the day and recording all the stuff. All the guys would be in everybody's room, and you hang out, you're telling stories, you're talking about some of the wins that you had, some of the losses you had, some of the places you visited along the way, the emotions, because when you're captain, Kevin Johnson and Troy Copain, you realize this is your last go-round. And so guys like Cumberland are looking and they're hearing these stories and they're saying, you know what, well, we'll be back next year, or we're going to the Final Four next year. I remember we lost in the Final Four, and Herb Jones and Anthony Buford were in the locker room crying, and Nick and Corey and I, we were looking at them. We were like, we'll be back next year. And we didn't understand what it meant. Like, it was over for them. And we'll keep talking about it's going to be better next year. Well, this coming up time that they have right now, Troy Copain is sucking it all up, and he's taking it all in. And him and Kevin Johnson, two of the best leaders we've had in a long time, they're going to enjoy this time.
The Bearcats are 29-5. They're trying to become just the second team in school history to win 30 or more games. We'll see if they get that done on Friday. Again, about 7:30 Cincinnati time as they take on Kansas State. Kansas State advancing last night by beating Wake Forest in Dayton, 95-88. The Bearcats will have a public practice on Thursday at the Golden One Center. That's where the games will take place. That occurs from 4:25 to 5:05. That's California time, so much later than that, obviously, in Cincinnati. But for folks that happen to be watching this, that live out in the West Coast, you can come out and watch the Bearcats practice 4:25 on Thursday here in Sacramento. We're looking forward to covering this event for the next several days, and hopefully beyond that, we'll see how far Cincinnati can go in this year's NCAA tournament. For Terry Nelson and a photographer making coffee, I'm Dan Hoard. Thanks for checking out this NCAA tournament report here on GoBearcats.com.